national crisis. Because now abduction is becoming a crisis in the country.
It's a pandemic.
It's a big pandemic in the country. And I can assure you that when I met the president, he was remorseful about it, and he expressed himself on the backdrop of our advice that this issue must be dealt with. And he is the person with the sword that can be able to abduct the abductors, if I may use that word. And I said it actually in public, that there's a president who has a responsibility to abduct the abductors. Because if somebody from Uganda or somebody from Tanzania or Somalia was to come for our lives, and we have given you the sword, what will you do with it? You protect us. And these are people who are coming for our children, for whichever reason, whether it is because of political reasons or any other reasons of seeking for ransom. These people are coming for our children. Therefore, he has got a responsibility to protect those children, but us as political leadership can also not use it on the theater of politics. And I want to ask my brother Nelson Avi, what is not true about what I've raised about what Gachagua said, right? The former deputy president. What is not true about Avi being silent in the wake of what was happening during Azimio protests? There was the highest number of abductions that happened in the beginning of 2023. This is a fact. There was a highest number of killings that happened, more than even what happened to Gen Zs. Gen Zs 75 is the number that we are given that were killed. Some we don't know. But in the wage of Azimio protest, I was in it. I escaped bullets. I have seen kids that I know that I grew up with. If you go here in Uruma, there's a young man called Omina that died at the door of his own mother. He didn't go on protest. I have buried people in Migori who were killed. And at that time of human rights violation, Avi was quiet. The deputy president was even ridiculing, he was even laughing about it. So you cannot come here today with a moral authority that is Gachagua today, talking about these abductions in a political way as if we don't know some of these people. What I'm saying, Ayub, is that human rights violation in this country cannot be tolerated in any form and at any time of convenience.
All right.
There's no day of convenience for Avi to say that today I'm fighting for abductions, but there's a day that when those abductions are happening to other people, then it's convenience for him and so to other people. Abductions are abductions. We must fight them and fight them at any given time they happen in this country.
And you being the senator, I mean, two wrongs never make a right. And
true.
An eye for an eye certainly isn't the solution.
Yes.
You have listed or signposted pretty issues that are very important on the sanctity of human lives. Why is this problem then not being addressed, rather it being now a perpetual continuity of where the Uhuru administration left?
Yeah, and this is the arrogance that we see in political leadership that we as a people must address, right? And that's why
that include the arrogance in leadership of the ODM party leaders, the ODM party members in cabinet.
I haven't seen the ODM party members in cabinet, taking...
Former members.
Yes, the former... Thank you for saying that. The former members of ODM, I haven't seen where they have been vehement and in denial of these human rights violations, especially these abductions. And where there are those cases, we as a party and we as former colleagues of them in the party have been very vocal at calling them out.
Okay, let me read you this. 2nd December, Ali Hassan Joe, CS Mining, when he was with the president, this was on Kenyans who are online. There are people, he said, at this very moment, we know they are online. I'm giving them a notice today. They shouldn't think that they're the only ones with a mouth. We have mouths as well. If they poke us, we'll respond affirmatively. Do you condemn this statement?
Do I condemn the statement that Joe made about online people? I personally, as a political, and I started by saying this, that as a politician...
Senator, that is a semantic evasion.
Yes.
Yes or no? Do you condemn it?
I do condemn it. I do condemn that statement, but that's not a statement that Joe said.
He said, I'm quoting him...
No, I'm saying he did not support abductions. He just said that people who are abusing them, basically online, is something that they'll deal with, right? And I think that sometimes in those instances, it did not say that then it goes with abductions. Maybe the way that Joe would have dealt with it is by taking actions that Onyonka had said, taking some of these people to court. And we have seen a number of people, taking those who have abused them online to court to say that this is a defamation or this person has assaulted me with words on this case. So whatever he meant by taking actions is up to interpretation. But I personally have experienced the same abuses online, and I started by saying that as a politician who has been abused in Migori by many young people who sometimes are hired by political rivals, I don't take those dissents personal, because sometimes they are used to abuse you, and then in the next minute they're asking you for money, in the next minute they're praising you. They're praising you, in the next minute they're telling you who sent them. And they even come and actually visit my home. I don't chase them away. So the level of intolerance is different with different people. But I think that as a country also we must have a candid conversation on what constitutes respect, mutual respect between the public and their leaders.
I get it. Yes, Councillor Harvey.
Now, at the lobby with Richard Onyonka, I confided in him and told him, look, the president is a big person. I've been a president before, but of
the Law Society
of our professional society. The president doesn't need to speak falsehoods. He needs to speak candidly. And let me speak candidly to my senator. This is my senator because I have a residence in Migori.
Yeah, I'm giving him very, very good shambas in Migori. He's doing very good maize in Migori.
So Senator...
Now presence will be better for you this season.
Thank you. Let me be honest. I did not speak about the atrocities that were meted on the Azimio demonstrators for one reason. And I speak this honestly. I'd lost an election. I was depressed. I was at the lowest of my career. Understand? I didn't even appear in court. Neither did I even appear on these shows. And a big man has to be honest and truthful. You understand? But my resolve to fight for human rights has never wavered. And it should also concern you, because I am in government. I'm a chair of a state corporation, but that doesn't stop me from speaking. So that should be an assurance to you that I will always fight for the rights of the people of Kenya. Going forward, I'm very delighted, Senator Richard Onyonka, that through our determined cross-examination of Honorable Nelson Koech, we've gotten the confession from him that he abhors these abductions and kidnappings, and he affirms that they are unlawful and they should not continue. That is good for a start. You also took issue with me that we seek to punish Kindiki Kithure and Kipchumba Murkomen. You see, at the Law Society, we have the power to see into the propriety of the conduct of our members. You, as the National Assembly, have the power to censure and even to impeach these cabinet secretaries. You've told us here that on a later date you will summon Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi to come and explain the circumstance that led to the abduction of Kizza BJ from here and his rendition to Uganda. You've not told us what you will do about Kindiki Kithure and Kipchumba Murkomen. Now with that, you should sit back and let us as lawyers deal with this too. On the other hand, my good senator, very forthright person, I wish we had 10 or 20 of this. You've seen the manner, the candor in which he speaks. These two gentlemen. This is what we need as leaders. Not just to speak, but to act. And on my part, I've said, as former president of the Law Society of Kenya, as a member of the Law Society, I will take action. And remember yesterday I said, I will not go to the streets. Not yesterday, not ever. Because protests are good, but protests are for a particular purpose. I'm not helpless on what has to be done insofar as Kindiki Kithure and Kipchumba Murkomen is concerned. I've tried it before on the former Attorney General and the former Solicitor General. So we must all do our part. Those who can go to the streets and protest vehemently. You're doing a good job. Those of us in the National Assembly who have been given the constitutional mandate of oversighting the executive must do your work. Summon Kindiki Kithure, summon Kipchumba Murkomen. They must explain to you under what circumstances were they unaware of the whereabouts of the abducted Kenyans. It's your responsibility. And Richard Onyonka and Eddie Okech, when this matter arrives on your table in the Senate, you must speak affirmatively. If these people have to be censured, they must be censured.